Welcome to Zimpapers Television Network, here broadcasting from Herald House. I know you've been waiting in anticipation for this, our second day of the National University's Quiz Challenge. I'm your host, still Robert Mkondiwa, and I shall be your quiz master for the day. Of course, apologies for our slight delay. That happens, obviously, in live broadcasting. So we shall be having day two, that ultimate day where we shall crown our winners. We shall be crowned the National University's Quiz Challenge Masters. Of course, now, this is an initiative of the Say What, our partners Say What, and of course with support from the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe. And of course we've been working with them hand in hand for quite a while now, and they support a lot of initiatives that we also run here on Zimpapers Television Network. Now, to kick off the day, none better way than to have the ambassador, the Swedish ambassador, speak to us, to even at least give us a bit of light with regards this initiative and how they've been working hand in hand with us. And speaking for and on behalf of the ambassador is the Deputy Ambassador of the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe.
Good morning. My name is Malin Krok and I'm the Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe. I would like to begin by thanking you all for tuning in to the National University's quiz competition, aptly themed Sexual Reproductive Health and COVID-19, an era of double-barreled actions. I also want to thank Say What, not only for organising this event, but also for facilitating an opportunity for young people in Zimbabwe to take ownership of their adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights agenda, and actively discussing the shared responsibility to respond to the unmet sexual information needs of young people, even during the public health emergencies such as COVID-19. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the young people who are putting in their time and effort to bring you this exciting quiz competition. I would like to encourage all participating universities to enjoy and learn from this process. I hope that this exchange of experience and knowledge is beneficial not only to you, but to everyone who is watching. Sweden acknowledges that there can be no valid or effective health response in Zimbabwe without the inclusion of the young people in their diversity. To achieve the vision of 2030 Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind, it is imperative that the health needs of young people be adequately addressed. In this regard, the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe is proud to partner with Say What for the sole purpose of mobilizing young minds and voices as a strategic investment for sustainable development. I represent a government which is very strong about equal rights and opportunities. This is part of our feminist foreign policy as well as our current drive for democracy. It's our hope that by continuing working together, we can turn our commitment into action, action that can be seen and felt in the lives of every Zimbabwean, especially the young people. Once again, thank you to everyone who has joined this broadcast. It's only by working together and extending our circle of friends that we can make a difference. I thank you. Siyabonga, Tatenda.
And thank you very much to the Deputy Ambassador of the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe, our proud partners here who are supporting today's National University's Quiz Challenge. Of course, I talk about today, but today is just the day when we see how the 6 will whittle down to 3 and eventually have that ultimate winner. But something happened before that. We started at 10 before we got to 6. So let's have a brief recap of what happened yesterday and who fell by the wayside and decided to take an early retirement package. Now, the first episode has 5 universities and 10 students. The first team to finish answering will ring the buzzer. They will not get any additional points, but will no doubt have bragging rights for being the fastest bright bulb in the house. In immune suppression, the abbreviation IRIS stands for what? Chinhoyi University of Technology, please read your answers.
Nothing.
It does stand for something, except you wrote nothing.
Iris.
Stands for Iris. Right up in the corner.
Yeah.
Who wrote nothing?
we really need to check our felt pens and see whether they're writing, because this is shocking. Please stop writing immediately and brandish your answers for me to see. I'm going to be telling at least, or rather I'm going to be telling two teams that they're on their way out.
I'm Lynette Ndlovu, studying medicine and surgery degrees.
I'm Shingai Mabwe, studying law.
Great Zimbabwe University.
Hi, I am John T. Guma, studying law.
I'm Samantha Wimbai Mkoyi, studying urban planning and development.
I'm sure the rules have been read to you.
3, 2, 1.
Congratulations, Midland State University. You are the brightest in the team at the moment.
Combined oral contraceptives.
Combined oral contraception.
Let us hope you shall all continue on a roll, because, of course, the correct answer certainly is combined oral contraception. So that is the road that we have traversed to get to where we are today. And as I said, we now have just 6 teams from 10. Just a brief recap of who we lost. We lost Lupane University and Chinhoyi at the beginning. And of course, in the second elimination stage, we lost Great Zimbabwe University and the Manicaland University of Applied Sciences. So now we shall be going right to where our teams are. We need to cross over to my colleague, trusted colleague, Candice Mwakalele. What we need to do right now is to start that process of the shuffle to see who shall be part of the first round to come in. They shall be asked a set of 25 questions, and at the end of that episode, we shall have another team come in and answer the exact same questions. Now, how does that work? Well, the other team will be in quarantine, and they will not be privy to any digital devices, and they will not even have their watches, so they will not be privy to the questions. And this, of course, is to ensure all fairness. They shall be all subjected to the same number of questions, and to the similar questions, rather. And at the end of that process, we shall eliminate a further number of teams before we move into the next round. Of course, the final will be after lunch, where we shall be seeing 3 teams battle it out. And of course, there we shall have our first and second runner-ups, and of course, the ultimate champions. And now Candice Mwakalele is waiting on standby for me from the West Wing here at Herald House. Candice, have a great morning, and please go ahead and tell us who we shall be having in the pools, in the 2 different pools this morning.
A wonderful morning from the Say What Condomize desk, and it is day 2 of the National Universities Quiz Challenge. Now, we did lose 4 universities yesterday, but the show must go on, and so we have 6 more to draw from. And as you can see, I have Nkosi and Nonsi with me. Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good. Did you have a good night of rest?
Yes, I did.
Lovely. Nkosi, how are you today?
I'm good.
Are you ready to continue?
Yes, I am.
All right, so today we find out who will emerge the brightest star in the galaxy of universities. Now, let's begin that draw to see which 3 will be in Group A and which 3 will be in Group B. Nkosi, as always, you are Group A. One paper?
Yes. University of Zimbabwe.
Okay. Nonsi?
National University of Science and Technology.
All right. We have whittled our teams down to 6 universities. So 3 on Group A, 3 on Group B.
Kwanda State University.
Harare Institute of Technology.
One more to go on each side.
Midland State University.
Bindura University of Science and Education.
All right, so that is our 3 for Group A and 3 for Group B. I will just read them out. We are starting off with Group A, which now comprises of Midland State University, Gwanda State University, and the University of Zimbabwe. They are going to form Group A and kick us off on day 2 of our challenge. Good luck to the teams.
Well, there you have it. We now know the teams that we are to expect. Of course, Pool A has the University of Zimbabwe, the Gwanda State University, and the Midlands State University. And we are just about to commence. They shall be making their way into the studio here. They are currently in the west wing of Herald House, and they're coming through to take their places at the podiums and make sure that they get ready to shine, because they want to show that they're the brightest stars in the galaxy of universities, as my colleague Candice Mwakaliele rightfully put it. And she was sitting there with the table adorned with all those glamorous looking condoms, and that's because Say What also has an initiative that they're running called Condomize. And of course, I've got my brilliant water bottle here, which also is a condomized product. And this is obviously within the thrust of the sexual and reproductive health rights initiatives that Say What runs. Now, we shall be seeing pictures and images of those students as they make their way into the studio here to me. So there they are, making a beeline for the studio. A bit of a bounce in their step there from what I see. Swag, they call it. And if you're joining us today, thank you for joining us. Clementine Vijo, Irene Matare Mapasure, good morning. Kudzai Chimombe, good morning to you. And there they are, taking their place in the studio at the podiums, and with Gwanda State University next to the University of Zimbabwe, which stands right in the middle today, and the Midlands State University. Sibusisiwe Mahonondo Nyoni, we had you yesterday, we've got you today. Thank you so much for keeping an eye. Carl Paidamoyo Mzika, hello to you too. Tamirira Nengoni, Munai She Muchinguri, thank you so much for joining us, and keep those comments coming and keep that interaction coming, because we shall be together for quite a bit of the day in this day's live programming. My name, yet again, is Robin Kondio, and I shall be your quiz master as we get ready to start and commence, because I'm good to go, and it seems so too are the teams. Now teams, welcome to the studio yet again. It's a new day and you've lost some colleagues along the way. Not that you're worried about that. In fact, some of you are sadistically happy that we've got less and less of you, because that means you're closer and closer to this majestic creature here that stands behind me. I'm in the shadow of his greatness. The rules remain as yesterday. Of course, you've got 20 seconds to answer the questions, and when I finish asking the question for the first time is when those 20 seconds will commence. However, should you be cognizant, or should you think you're cognizant of the question that I am asking even before I finish asking the question, you are allowed to start writing on your slate immediately. However, past the 20 seconds, you are not allowed to continue writing, failure of which may lead to points deduction or disqualification. Of course, after that, I shall ask you to stop, to show me your slates, and after you show me your slates, I shall then ask you to read exactly what is written on your slates and the answers that you've written. Of course, then after that, I shall give you my prescribed correct answer before proceeding to ask the next question. Of course, as you know, we shall be losing more teams at the end of these coming 2 episodes, because right at the end, we shall have only 3 standing. Now that means in this particular hot session that we'll have in the next 2 episodes, we are losing 3 and not the 2 that we have been losing. We shall commence. Now the first raft of questions come from the category family planning and contraception. Family planning and contraception. Question number 1. In family planning, what does the abbreviation LARC stand for? In family planning, what does the abbreviation LARC stand for? Or what are LARCs? Word coming from home today. You're looking all very good. Apparently you're getting good word from the people. Your time is up. Stop writing immediately. So Flosima Kombe thinks you are looking absolutely fabulous, all of you. You're looking very smart. And you're looking very good, says Shanti Feliama. You've got a lot of fans today, so evidently you've got great fashion sense. I was telling them you guys are looking very, very swag. Anyway, now that you've stopped writing, may you please brandish those slates towards me. And I shall ask, commencing with Gwanda State University, that you read the answer that you have written on your slate.
Long-term acting reversible contraceptive.
I will ask that the University of Zimbabwe does likewise.
Long-acting reversible contraceptives.
And finally, Midlands State University.
Long-lasting reversible contraceptives.
The answer I have prescribed is long-acting reversible contraceptives. Question number 2 is, the occurrence of a first menstrual period in the female adolescent is known as what? What is the occurrence of a first menstrual period in the female adolescent known as? And use it, MSU rather, you've got the light buzzer on, bragging rights. You got the answer already and you're done. And the slow coaches will follow after you. Time is up. I shall ask you to brandish your slates towards me. Gwanda State University, please state what's on your slate.
Menake.
University of Zimbabwe, please state what's on your slate.
Menake.
And MSU, please state what's on your slate.
Menake.
And you all got the correct answer. It is indeed. And I move on to the third question. How old was the youngest mother in Zimbabwe? How old was the youngest mother ever recorded in Zimbabwe? And MSU, you've got the bragging rights, of course. The light is on and the slow coaches are smiling. What else can they do? And of course, in the world, other people are helping us. Shingirai Murenga also taking the questions and following from wherever it is she is. So, may you please brandish your slates towards me. Interesting. Gwanda State University, state the answer that you have.
18 years.
University of Zimbabwe.
13.
And Midlands State University.
9 years.
The answer is 10 years and 9 months. Question number 4. Name any one permanent method of family planning. Name any one permanent method of family planning. Kuzai Chimombe, we are excited to have you. Chinovonga Omega, we are excited to have you. As UZ also finally find their buzzer.
3, 2, 1.
MSU is really fast. Hopefully they're getting it correct. That's somebody who's really standing by you. As I now ask you to brandish your slates towards me. Start with Gwanda State University. State the answer that you have.
Chupa allocation.
And I'll ask the University of Zimbabwe.
Chuba obligation.
And then I'll ask the Midlands State University to state the answer on your slate.
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy or tubal ligation is the correct answer, any one of the two. And we close this particular category with question number 5. Which family planning method is best for women living with HIV? Which family planning method is best for women living with HIV? MSU have found the buzzer again. I think Gwanda State University's buzzer is faulty. I will ask the technicians later on to look at it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your time is up. Please brandish the slates towards me. As Gwanda State University, what do you state?
Condom.
University of Zimbabwe.
Condom.
And Midlands State University.
Condoms.
Use of condoms, yes indeed. Category 2, we are about to get into. Now this is drawn from STIs, sexually transmitted infections, including HIV and AIDS. Now, question number 1. In treatment, the abbreviation MDR stands for what? What does the abbreviation MDR stand for in treatment? Midlands,
5,
still on a roll,
3,
still upping the
1.
electricity bill. Time is up. May you please brandish your slates towards me. Gwanda State University, state your answer.
Multi-drug resistant.
University of Zimbabwe.
Multiple drug resistance.
And Midlands State University.
Multiple drug resistance.
Multi-drug resistant is the correct answer. Question number 2. The time period during which a specific antibody develops and becomes detectable in the blood is referred to as what? The time period during which a specific antibody develops and becomes detectable in the blood is referred to as what? Midlands State University, you've got your light yet again.
5, 4,
I'm beginning to think it's probably not switching off.
1.
Time's up. Please brandish your answers. Please brandish your slates towards me. Wanda State University, state your answer.
Window period.
Window period. University of Zimbabwe.
Window period.
And MSU.
Incubation period.
Well, I will tell you that my answer is the period of seroconversion. The period of seroconversion. Now, question number 3. What is the current percentage of women living with HIV in Zimbabwe? What is the current percentage of women living with HIV in Zimbabwe? MSU have got the light on.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time is up. May you please brandish your slates towards me. I like this round because, or this round of the question rather, because finally you took out your confused faces and you wore them with pride. Wanda State University, state your answer.
66%.
University of Zimbabwe.
56%.
On what's on your slate?
I'm sorry, 59%.
And Midland State University.
17%.
It's 730,000 out of 1.4 million, or 52%. See, you will try to adjust it in the middle of. Question number 4. Given an example of a bodily fluid which can transmit HIV, give me an example of a body fluid which can transmit HIV. They use it, still coming through to also at least find the buzzer. Wanda, is there electricity? Wanda?
5,
You want to switch the switch
4,
on?
3,
Well, I
2,
hope to see you switch on. Time up. Of course, brandish those slates towards me. And I ask Wanda State University, please answer what you've got on your slate.
Semen.
University of Zimbabwe.
Semen.
And Midland State University.
Blood.
Of course, blood, seminal fluids or semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. And question number 5 in this category, the last in the category, is in HIV transmission, what does U equals U refer to? In HIV transmission, what does U equal U refer to? University of Zimbabwe found the switch.
2, 1.
All stop writing. Please brandish your slates towards me. Wanda, I've lost the felt pen. Wanda State University, please tell me what is written on your slate.
Nothing.
I was about to consult my optician. University of Zimbabwe.
Undetectable equals untransmittable.
And Midland State University.
Transmission between positive people.
Okay, so you and undetectable equals untransmittable is the answer I was looking for. And when we get to this stage, of course, some people will have known you from yesterday. We had shared quite an amazing morning and afternoon yesterday. But perhaps just as a recap, Gwanda State University. Madam, what is your name and what are you reading towards at Gwanda State University?
I am Grace Gatsi and I'm studying animal science.
Animal science. I never thought we would study animal science, but that's and it's an amazing decision, really. I think if you listen to the ambassador's speech, if you're privy to it, how Sweden has women at the forefront and also going into those so-called traditionally male areas, and we shall be coming to you for expertise, no doubt. And the gentleman?
Anelis Wanda. I'm studying geomatics and survey engineering.
Geomatics and survey engineering.
Geomatics.
Geomatics. Oh, okay. Whatever that is. I'm not the sharpest tool in the box. I'm just the guy who's standing at the podium. University of Zimbabwe. The lady. What are you studying? What's your name and what are you studying?
I'm Tashinga Mungofa. I'm studying accounting.
Accounting, Tashinga. Well, they usually say people who study accounting or accountants are the most boring looking people in the world, but you have proven them wrong. The gentleman.
I'm Chimbani Kumala and I'm studying social work.
Social work. You're studying social work. I will tell the viewers who were not watching yesterday that yesterday you said you were doing social work at the university, and I was thinking, well, this is supposed to be for students, not for people who are doing social work and then you corrected that and said you were studying or reading towards social work. And now the age-old question is going to be answered because a lot of people were asking questions about MSU on social media. And finally, they're going to get their answer. The lady, MSU, what are you studying?
My name is Lynette Ndlovu. I'm studying medicine.
You are studying medicine. It explains quite a lot, and it also explains my electricity bill so far. And the gentleman?
I'm Shingai Mabwe, and I'm studying law.
I don't know whether we should believe what you're saying, but I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Of course, fabulous. Now the people at home know who we have in the house. It's a little bit of a more laid-back day today because now you guys know that you've got 1 foot through the door today, and this is the ultimate day. And of course, this is the day that you'll probably have your hands and your fingerprints on this amazing trophy behind me. We shall continue category 3, SGBV and sexual health. That's SGBV and sexual health. Question number 1 is, what does the abbreviation SOGIE stand for, or SOGIE? What does that abbreviation stand for? SOGIE. As my timer starts ticking down, of course, to the 10-second mark now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Before you brandish your... Stop writing. Before you brandish your slates, I can guess what Uzet wrote. But anyway, now you can brandish your slates. Oh, I could have guessed what a lot of people wrote. Okay, brilliant. Gwanda State University, please state what's on your slate.
SOGIE, then we have S, orphans, gender, IE.
Gender, IE. So you've got SO. Then orphans, then gender. Can I have your mic? I think I can't hear you properly.
I have S, then O for orphans, then G for gender, then I, then E.
So you said S stands for nothing. I think they just had too many letters and they're like, let's just write SOGIE. But all we want is gender and IE. Anyway, thank you. University of Zimbabwe.
I'm sure your guess was right.
It was absolutely right. And then Midland State University.
Blank.
Brilliant. Well, the S does stand for something. It's sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. So it's sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. Leading us to question number 2. What is the term used to define behavior or gender expression by an individual that does not match masculine or feminine gender norms? What is the term used to define behavior or gender expression by an individual that does not match masculine or feminine gender norms?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time is up. Stop writing immediately. MSU, time is up. You've brandished. Fine. I will ask Gwanda State University to please state the answer on your slate.
Queer or intersexual?
University of Zimbabwe.
Transgender.
And Midlands State University.
Asexual, intersexual.
The answer prescribed, gender non-conformity. The person will be gender non-conforming. Question number 3. In Zimbabwe, what proportion of women aged 15 to 49 have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, according to the Zimbabwe Demographic Health Survey of 2015? In Zimbabwe, what is the proportion of women aged 15 to 49 that have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, according to the Zimbabwe Demographic Health Survey of 2015. Gwanda State University, you have finally paid your electricity bill. Your light is on. And I am the happiest man. I will tell you that. Stop writing, brandish your slates towards me, and Gwanda State University, please state what you have.
35%.
University of Zimbabwe.
35%.
Midlands State University.
1 in 3, which is 30 to 35%.
1 in 3 is the correct proportional answer. As we go to question number 4, which country in the world has the highest gender development index in 2019? Which country in the world had the highest gender development index in 2019? As the UZ get their buzzer on.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time is up. Please brandish your slates towards me. Gwanda, you could have at least just written any country. Any. You could have just even written Gwanda. But please lead us by telling us what's on your slate.
Nothing.
University of Zimbabwe.
Netherlands.
Midlands State University.
Netherlands.
The correct answer is Norway. And I don't mean Norway as in no place. I mean Norway, not Norway. Norway. Somewhere called Norway. And question number 5 in this category, the last for the category, what is the name of the body which was formed in 2009 to keep track of progress in addressing domestic violence in Zimbabwe? What is the name of the body that was formed in 2009 to keep track of progress in addressing domestic violence issues in Zimbabwe?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. MSU has got the buzzer on. I will ask you to brandish your answers my way. Gwanda State University, what is on your slate?
Domestic violence.
University of Zimbabwe.
Nothing.
And Midlands State University.
Gender Commission.
The Anti-Domestic Violence Council is the prescribed answer. Leading us to category 4. COVID-19, malaria, tuberculosis, mental health, and cancers of the reproductive system. What does the abbreviation SARS in relation to COVID COVID-19 stand for? What does the abbreviation SARS in relation to COVID-19 stand for? Midlands State University, you've got your buzzer on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me. GSU, may you please read exactly what is on your slate?
SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Moving on to the University of Zimbabwe.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
And finally, the Midlands State University.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome it is indeed. Now, any substance that stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies is known as what? What is the name of any substance that stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies known as? And MSU have found their buzzer again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Gwanda State University, please state what is on your slate.
Vaccine.
You use vaccines in Gwanda. University of Zimbabwe, what do you use?
Nothing.
And Midlands State University.
Antigen.
So do we. Antigen is the correct answer. Question number 3. Which country to date has the third highest number of COVID-19 deaths? Which country to date has the third highest number of COVID-19 deaths? MSU still have the light on. I hope I at least see a country.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. May you please brandish your slates. Gwanda State University, what answer do you have?
Italy.
University of Zimbabwe, what answer do you have?
Brazil.
And finally, Midlands State University.
Brazil.
The prescribed answer I have is India. Question number 4. Name any one of the 2 broad types of tests administered for COVID-19 according to World Health Organization. Name any one of the 2 broad types of tests administered for COVID-19 according to the World Health Organization, as Midlands State University keep the pressure on the buzzer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Stop writing. Brandish your slates towards me, and Gwanda State University, read your answer to me.
Antibody rapid test and swab test.
The University of Zimbabwe.
RPT polymerase chain reaction and CT scan.
Midlands State University.
RDT, which is the rapid diagnostic test, and then an RN-PCR.
You guys were working on, I think you had a good breakfast. When I asked for any one, you gave me 2. Probably shows you're excited to be here today. I'm excited to have you. The viral test, the PCR, and or the rapid diagnostic test being my prescribed answers. Question number 5. On which specific date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 to be a global pandemic? On which specific date did World Health Organization declare COVID-19 to be a global pandemic? MSU, you're just showing off. You're showing off with the buzz.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop writing and brandish your slates towards me immediately. Gwanda State University. Okay, you know what? We'll have this discussion a bit later on. But look, read what's on your slate.
11 March 2020.
University of Zimbabwe.
25 February.
And Midland State University.
30 January 2020.
You see, the correct answer is 11 March 2020. Who knows things like that? Gwanda, you couldn't write a country, but you know when the World Health Organization declared COVID to be a global pandemic, you know the date. What do you guys do for fun, like in your spare time? Brilliant, Gwanda, the only team to get the correct answer as we, of course, wrap up on this category, the penultimate one. And now we're headed for the last category. Before that time, I think you'd also want to see those guys stewing in our quarantine area. Yes, we've got a quarantine area where we keep the other players waiting to get in here. There they are. They're stewing. They're thinking, what will the questions look like today? And they're hoping that all of you in here, and this is what I'm telling you, they are hoping all of you in here will perform worse than them, because we are losing 3 teams, which means this is Armageddon, and those guys are not your friends. And so are these guys in here. But I remain your loyal friend as we get into category 5, the last category. And if you've been having a bad day, this is the last chance saloon. It's time to make your orders. Category 5, however, is pretty hot still. You remember yesterday, climate change and the environment. Climate change and the environment. Question number 1 in this category: what does the abbreviation GPS stand for? What does the abbreviation GPS stand for? You use this quite a lot. Gwanda, the light is on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I feel like a proud parent right now seeing that light on, Gwanda, trust me. And I will all ask you guys to brandish your slates towards me and have Gwanda State University please state the answer on your slate.
Global Positioning System.
The University of Zimbabwe.
Global Position Satellite.
And Midland State University.
Global Positioning System.
Global Positioning System, it truly is. Number 2, in environment, what term is used to define a situation relating to or resulting from the influence of human beings on nature? In environment, what term is used to define a situation relating to or resulting from the influence of human beings on nature? Are you sure?
1.
Okay. Okay. Stop writing and stop rubbing and brandish your slates towards me. Gwanda State University, please state your answer.
Anthropogenic.
Okay. University of Zimbabwe.
Colonization.
And then the Midland State University.
Blank.
Blank. I will ask, this is super important because this is probably the last time I'm going to be with you guys. Gwanda, again, what do you guys do? The answer, apparently, is anthropogenic, which you got correct. And people, normal people are not supposed to get those questions correct. And normal people are not supposed to get those other questions wrong. So I'm... and then I'm thinking it's a sad month. It was a sad month for us, and if people were watching us on ZTN, we had a soft launch last year because we lost. It's in this month the late former President Robert Mugabe, and he used to talk about colonization a lot. And I'm thinking he probably would have said, "Our anthropogenicizers who anthropogenized our country. We took it and we are now sovereign. We are a free nation because we did away with anthropogeny. Since, of course, it's synonymous with colonization, according to the UZ. No, it is, no, not interchangeable. But very interesting, I will tell you that. One of the highlights. And then MSU, you couldn't even say colonization. Beautiful. Now, question number 3. Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones in the world, which country experienced the most? Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones in the world, which country experienced the most number? Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones, as my, yes, now my ticker is on. Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones in the world, which country has experienced the most number?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. May you please brandish. Gwanda State University, please state your answer.
Haiti.
University of Zimbabwe.
Japan.
And Mozambique. I can see. Unfortunately, for all of you, not at all. Bangladesh it is. Question number 4. What was the name of the ministry mandated to protect Zimbabwe's natural resources at independence in 1980 by the government of Zimbabwe? What was the name then of the ministry mandated to protect Zimbabwe's natural resources at independence in 1980 by the government of Zimbabwe?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. May you please brandish the answers that you have written. I'll start with Gwanda State University.
Ministry of Environmental Management.
University of Zimbabwe.
Ministry of Forestry, Mining and Natural Resources.
And Midland State University.
Ministry of Water, Climate and Natural Resources.
Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism it was. Leading us to the last and final question, and this may be your last and final opportunity to answer a question at this year's edition of the quiz. What is the name of the ministry that oversees climate change issues in Zimbabwe? What is the name of the ministry that oversees climate change issues in Zimbabwe? Time's up. Please brandish your slates. And so, the bit that deals with that, according to Gwanda State University, what's that bit?
Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate.
University of Zimbabwe.
Ministry of Environment.
And Midland State University.
Ministry of Climate, Water and Natural Resources.
Ministry of Environment, Water and Climate it is. That is the bit. And of course, this brings us to the end of this episode. This also brings you to the end of your journey, perhaps. I know you wish not, but there are 3 other teams that really want to take that ultimate spot going forward after lunch when we go and fight out for this trophy. I will remind you, and I will remind those at home, that this session, we call it a quiz, but it's a show. We're here to have fun. We're here to interact. We're here to hear what you have to say, and if the giggles are anything to go by, we've had an absolutely great day. It is not a competition. It is also a learning process, and it is also an interaction process as well, which is why we keep on interacting as well with our viewers who have been watching. Masimbato Windo, Kudzai Chimombe, Lakson Jobwo, thank you so much for joining us. Bright Mukanganwa and Lesinya Cho, thank you for joining us, and keep watching, because we've got yet another round that's coming in very, very soon. Now I will ask that my studio, this home of mine, be unsealed, and I'll ask that you start shuttling out as I now cross over to Candice Wakalele. Candice, good morning yet again, and please go ahead.
So the first half is done, and of course you'll see our students came today looking dapper, ready to take that trophy home. Now, of course, from the Say What Condomized desk, you know, I have been speaking to different people, and now with me I have Leo Munyono, I hope I said that right, who is the Say What project coordinator for the Action for Choice project. And Leo, how are you?
I'm fine, Candice, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I see your students are very excited today. They have come alive.
Surely they are really excited. They want to see the winners for this year's challenge.
Right. Now, Leo, tell us a bit more about the Choice project, Action for Choice.
Mm-hmm. It's very true. The Action for Choice project is one of the projects that we are implementing as Say What, with the support from the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe. And it's a 3-year project under which the quiz competitions are coming in to address one of the outcomes that we want to achieve under this project. So basically, the Action for Choice project aims to ensure that students in the tertiary institutions that we are targeting have access to sexual reproductive health services. And specifically, we are looking at gender-based violence services. We are looking at contraception services. We are also looking at of course, HIV services. So under this project, we want to ensure that students are informed. When a student is informed, when a student has information, that's when they can now make informed choices concerning their sexual and reproductive health. So we assume that if we give students information, then they are empowered. They also become assertive. They are also able to stand for their decisions, and they are able also to defend the choices that they make. And for your own information, you might want to know that under this project, we do have a motto which we say, smart learners make smart choices, which means if you are a smart learner, you have to make smart choices. So the quiz competitions are actually coming in to address one goal of the project, which is to ensure that there is a dissemination of sexuality, education and information amongst the students. We want to make sure that students have adequate information which is accurate, reliable, and scientifically proven. So when we are coming for the quiz competitions, we are just trying to make sure that students have that accurate information which is reliable and which is also scientifically proven. You know, there are a lot of sources of information these days. Students have access to the internet, and you know, the Wikipedias, they type a lot of them, they get a lot of information. So as Say What we are coming in now to say, students need to have the correct information, which will help them to make informed decisions based on the correct information, yes.
Now, Leo, was there strategy to, when you came up with the decision to make it a quiz, was there a particular reason behind, quiz challenge and not maybe just games night or let's hang out night? Was there a reason why you chose to do it in quiz format?
Well, we chose to do it in the quiz format because competition sometimes also brings in another level of excitement. You know, even in football, how people are excited to see their team win. And we also realized that under the environment of a competition or under the competitive environment, people sometimes learn better. because you want to beat the next team and you want to be the best. So in that way, you learn faster and much better. So we decided to take the competition away because it's also exciting. We work with young people after all. Young people, after exciting things. They don't want things that are not exciting. Yes, so the competition method is one of the methods, but of course you might know that we have other methods that we are using under the Action for Choice project to reach out to students with information and services, and the quiz competitions is just one of the several methods that we are using under the Action for Choice project.
Thank you so much, Leo. As you know, as you have heard, competition always tends to bring out the best. And as we can see today, especially, we are winding down our university teams, and we will be left with the ultimate winner, the brightest star in the galaxy of universities. Back to the studio for Group B's introduction.
Well, thank you so much, Candice Makalele, there, my colleague who was handling business from the other end, the other wing of this. Of course, it's a quiz. It may look like a quiz. It's not. It's a show. We are having a show with students from SAYWAT who are affiliated from their various universities because these are interactions that we have with them from time to time. Of course, that episode is done. Another is on its way. We'll have the Bindura University of Science Education, the National University of Science and Technology, and the Harare Institute of Technology, who are actually the current holders. My name is Robert Nkondiwa. I'll be your quiz master continuing. And of course, I'm your host today on Zim Papers Television Network. But before we get into the next episode, the last before we break for our lunch, we will commence that with the Deputy Head of Mission at the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe, Malin Crook, who will be speaking to us. Of course, her welcome remarks yet again, because those are our proud partners who have made this day absolutely possible.
Good morning. My name is Malin Crook, and I'm the Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe. I would like to begin by thanking you all for tuning in to the National University's quiz competition, aptly themed Sexual Reproductive Health and COVID-19, an era of double-barreled actions. I also want to thank SAYWAT, not only for organising this event, but also for facilitating an opportunity for young people in Zimbabwe to take ownership of their adolescent sexual and reproductive health and rights agenda, and actively discussing the shared responsibility to respond to the unmet sexual information needs of young people, even during the public health emergencies such as COVID-19. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the young people who are putting in their time and effort to bring you this exciting quiz competition. I would like to encourage all participating universities to enjoy and learn from this process. I hope that this exchange of experience and knowledge is beneficial not only to you, but to everyone who is watching. Sweden acknowledges that there can be no valid or effective health response in Zimbabwe without the inclusion of the young people in their diversity. To achieve the vision of 2030 Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind, it is imperative that the health needs of young people be adequately addressed. In this regard, the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe is proud to partner with SAYWAT for the sole purpose of mobilizing young minds and voices as a strategic investment for sustainable development. I represent a government which is very strong about equal rights and opportunities. This is part of our feminist foreign policy, as well as our current drive for democracy. It's our hope that by continuing working together, we can turn our commitment into action, action that can be seen and felt in the lives of every Zimbabwean, especially the young people. Once again, thank you to everyone who has joined this broadcast. It's owned by working together and extending our circle of friends that we can make a difference. I thank you. Siyabonga, Tatenda.
Of course, the Deputy Head of Mission at the Embassy of Sweden in Zimbabwe, Ms. Malin Crook, thank you so much for proudly sponsoring our sponsors, our partners, Say What in the National University's Quiz Challenge of 2020. And of course, they've been working hand in hand with us on a varied other programs and programming as we have gone. Now, we're moving on to yet another episode with the remnant of the teams, of the 6 that we have, and we shall be seeing them as they make their way here, as they troop from the West Wing, from the quarantine area. They were not privy to the questions. They know not the answers that were given, and there they are. And yes, they're looking smart as ever. They're Bindura University of Science Education, National University of Science and Technology, and the current holders, the Harare Institute of Technology. So anytime now, they'll be trooping from quarantine into my studio. Welcome back to Zimpapers Television Network. Today, on the second day of the National Universities Quiz Challenge, I have got the second batch of the chosen 6 from last night's final round of debating. And of course, that's Bindura University of Science Education, the National University of Science and Technology, and the Harare Institute of Technology, as we try to determine who shall be the last 3 standing. Remember, this time around we will be losing 3 rather than 2 teams, and the 3 remaining will be going into the final after our lunch. after which, of course, we shall be having the first and second runner-up and ultimately the cup winners of this quiz challenge. My name is Robert Mkondiwa. I'm your quiz master and I'm your host. And this, as I said, is Zimpaper's television network, a prime network of choice. As with yesterday, you shall get 20 seconds to answer a question. You shall have 25 questions to answer. You can start writing on your slate whenever you think you are conversant and cognizant of the question that I intend to ask. However, you may not proceed to write after the 20 seconds have lapsed. I will also confirm via you that you have obviously been in quarantine and you're not privy to these questions or answers. However, your colleagues who have gone before you have already endured them. I wish you all the best, and may the best three progress. Category 1 is family planning and contraception. First question. In family planning, what does the abbreviation LARC stand for? In family planning, what does the abbreviation LARC stand for? Or what are LARCs? Harare Institute of Technology, you have hit the bright buzzer. Your time is up, all. May you please brandish your slates towards me. Starting with Bindura University of Science Education, please state the answer as you have written it on your slate.
Long-acting reverse contraceptive.
National University of Science and Technology.
Long-acting reversible contraceptives.
And finally, Harare Institute of Technology.
Long-acting reversible contraceptive.
The answer is long-acting reversible contraceptives. Question number 2. The occurrence of a first menstrual period in the female adolescent is known as what? What is the occurrence of a first menstrual period in the female adolescent known as Harare Institute of Technology? You remain strong on the buzzer and the light.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your time is up. Please brandish your slates towards me. Bindura University of Science Education, please read what's on your slate.
MENAC.
National University of Science and Technology, please read what is on your slate.
MENAC.
And Harare Institute of Technology, please read what's on your slate.
MENAC.
And you all have the correct answer. Moving on to question number 3. How old was the youngest mother recorded in Zimbabwe? How old was the youngest mother recorded in Zimbabwe? Harare Institute of Technology, remain strong on the buzzer.
5, 4,
5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Brandish your slates towards me. And Bindura University.
13 years.
National University of Science and Technology.
9 years.
Harare Institute of Technology.
14 years by 2015.
14 years by 2015. What? Samantha Goodman was 10 years and 9 months old. And question number 4, name any one permanent method of family planning. Name any one permanent method of family planning. Name any one permanent method of family planning. Harare Institute of Technology still dominating the buzzer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me. Starting with Bindura University of Science Education, please read what's on your slate.
Tubal ligation.
Tubal ligation.
Ligation.
National University of Science and Technology.
Vasectomy.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy, tubal ligation. Any one of the two is the correct prescribed answer. Question number 5, the last in this category. Which family planning method is best for women living with HIV? Which family planning method is best for women living with HIV? Harare Institute of Technology running the electricity bill high.
1.
Time's up. Please brandish your... I'll ask Bindura University of Science Education to read what's on your slate.
Barrier condom.
Barrier condom.
National University of Science and Technology.
Condom.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Condom.
Use of condoms is the correct answer. Category 2 is drawn from sexually transmitted infections, including HIV and AIDS. Question number 1. In this category, in treatment, the abbreviation MDR stands for what? What does the abbreviation MDR stand for in treatment? Of course, people from home, we're seeing you there. Kudzai Chimombe, Juliet Panapa, Tinowonga Omega, Clementine Joe, Pawai Natasha Dana, thank you for joining us. Time's up, Bindura University, stop writing, and please may you all brandish your slates towards me. And starting with Bindura University of Science Education, what answer do you have on your slate?
Menstrual draw rate.
Menstrual what?
Menstrual draw rate.
National University of Science and Technology.
Multi-drug resistance.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
MDR.
Yeah, indeed. That's what I asked. But multi-drug resistant is the answer to that. And of course, we were struggling as a nation with multi-drug resistant TB only too recently, and it's still something that plagues us. Question number 2. The time period during which a specific antibody develops and becomes detectable in the blood is referred to as what? The time period during which a specific antibody develops and becomes detectable in the blood is referred to as being what period? 5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Brandish your slates towards me and have Bindura University of Science Education please read your answer.
Period of seroconversion.
National University of Science and Technology.
Window period.
Harare Institute of Technology.
Window period.
Seroconversion period is the correct answer. Going on to question number 3. What is the current percentage of women living with HIV in Zimbabwe? What is the current percentage of women living with HIV in Zimbabwe? What percentage of women are living with HIV in Zimbabwe?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Brandish your slates towards me. Bindura University, read your answer.
61%.
National University of Science and Technology.
60%.
Harare Institute of Technology.
63%.
The answer is 52%, or 730,000 out of 1.4 million. Question number 4. Give an example of a body fluid which can transmit HIV. Give an example of a body fluid that can transmit HIV. time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me and have Bindura University read your answer.
Semen.
National University of Science and Technology.
Blood.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Semen.
Blood, seminal fluids, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. So, yes, vaginal fluids, seminal fluids, blood, and breast milk. And the last question in this category. In HIV transmission, what does U equals U refer to? In HIV transmission, what does U equals U refer to? The letter U.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop writing, brandish your slates towards me as we get feedback, of course, from our viewers. And Kosikona Polo Sibanda is shocked that we've got 52% of women living with HIV in the country. And, of course, so is Kosi Nube, because, of course, we've got quite a crisis in the nation, and that is why we've got serious interventions as a country to respond to HIV and AIDS. Back to the studio, Bindura University of Science Education, please read the answer that you have written.
U equals to U, unprotected equals to unprotected.
That could be a plan. National University of Science and Technology.
Undetected equals to undisclosed.
Harare Institute of Technology.
U equals U.
U equals U. Me equals me, I suppose. Undetectable equals untransmittable. If your levels are undetectable, you cannot transmit. Which brings us to the end of category 2. And of course, we've got 3 categories left before your fate can be known. Of course, as you know, we're losing 3 of you this time around, and we will only have 3 at the other end of business when we get to the finals. So, no pressure there. Of course, we had a very great morning and afternoon yesterday and became quite much of a family. But some of our viewers were not here with us yesterday. We gave them a recap of what happened yesterday. But perhaps just to spruce things and spice things up a bit for them, spruce their little garden of knowledge, I'm going to start with Bindura University of Science Education. The lady, what is your name? Hello, what is your name and what are you reading towards?
My name is Mercy Mtoko. I'm studying Peace and Governance.
Mercy, Peace and Governance. Well, actually the words go hand in hand. Mercy, Peace, Governance. They could actually have called the whole program, named it after you. Pleasure to have you yet again. And the gentleman?
Tanaka Bukitsani is studying social work.
Studying social work. Thank you so much, Bindura University of Science Education. Wish you all the best. On to the lady, National University of Science and Technology.
Hi, my name is Rachel Pamala. I'm studying Environmental Science and Health.
Thank you, Rachel. And the gentleman?
Hi, my name is Tinashe Banda, studying Bachelor of Commerce Honours Degree in Accounting.
Well, we had a great day yesterday. You managed to knock out some teams. Some people are actually watching and do not like you guys. But this is the nature of the game. And all the best to you, Nast, today, all the way from Bulawayo. And current holders, no pressure. Harare Institute of Technology. The lady, hello. Your name and what are you reading towards?
Hi, my name is Maud Foucault and I'm studying Chemical and Process Systems Engineering.
Chemical and Process Systems Engineering at the Harare Institute of Technology. Great to have you yet again. And then the gentleman.
Hi Rob, my name is Aniso Humphrey Chigumira, studying towards Financial Engineering.
And it's a pleasure to have you back yet again. And as I said, you guys have got this as your final chance to make it into the final at least and get that podium finish. Category 3 is SGBV and sexual health. I'll start with question number 1. What does the abbreviation SOGIE stand for? SOGIE. What does the abbreviation SOGIE stand for? SOGIE.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop answering and please brandish those. Wow, yeah, I love my job. It's moments like this where I actually just love this job. Brilliant. Bindura University of Science Education, please tell me what's written on your slate.
Sexual orientation on gay.
Okay. Thank you. National University of Science and Technology, take your time. And now tell me what's on your slate.
Sexually opportunistic generated.
E, okay. So sexually opportunistic generated E. And Harare Institute of Technology.
Sexual.
Yeah. Sexual orientation, gender identity and expression. Sexual orientation, gender identity and expression. Question number 2. What is the term used to define behavior or gender expression by an individual that does not match masculine or feminine gender norms? What is the term used to define behavior or gender expression by an individual that does not match masculine or feminine gender norms? What do you know that
5,
person as?
4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me. Brandish your slate toward me. Bindura University, read what's on your slate.
Intersexual.
National University of Science and Technology.
Intersex.
Harare Institute of Technology.
Transgender.
Gender non-conforming is the answer. Prescribed. Question number 3. In Zimbabwe, what proportion of women aged 15 to 49 have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, according to the Zimbabwe Demographic Health Survey of 2015? In Zimbabwe, what proportion of women aged 15 to 49 have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, according to the Zimbabwe Demographic Health Survey of 2015? In Zimbabwe, what proportion of women aged 15 to 49 have experienced physical violence since the age of 15, according to the Zimbabwe Demographic Health Survey? May you show me your slates? And may Bindura University read the answer that you have written.
35%.
National University of Science and Technology.
1 in 3.
Harare Institute of Technology.
35%.
1 in 3 is the correct answer. Which country in the world had the highest gender development index in 2019? Which country in the world had the highest gender development index in 2019? Which country in the world had the highest gender development index in the world?
5, 4,
5 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Time's up. May you please brandish your slates. Bindura University, please read what's on your slate.
South Africa.
National University of Science and Technology.
Mozambique.
The Mozambicans will be absolutely happy to hear that. And Harare Institute of Technology.
America.
Norway is the correct answer. I shudder to think you would think under President Trump women would have a great chance and have a high gender development index under that gentleman. But, well, you're free to think of him and his governance, whatever you would wish. As we get to the last question in this category, what is the name of the body which was formed in 2009 to keep track of progress in addressing domestic violence in Zimbabwe? What is the name of the body or institution which was formed in 2009 to keep track of progress in addressing domestic violence issues in Zimbabwe?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Stop writing. Stop writing immediately, and please brandish your slates towards me. May I see what's on your slates? Well, Bindura University of Science Education, please tell me what you have written on your slate.
Victim-friendly unit.
I can see. National University of Science and Technology, please read what's on your slate.
Zimbabwe Board on Domestic Violence.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Zimbabwe Women Rights.
Zimbabwe Women Rights. Anti-Domestic Violence Council. The Anti-Domestic Violence Council. Category 4 is COVID-19, malaria, tuberculosis, mental health, and cancers of the reproductive system. The questions are drawn from COVID-19, malaria, tuberculosis, mental health, and cancers of the reproductive system. What does the abbreviation SARS in relation to COVID-19 stand for? What does the abbreviation SAR is commonly referred to as SARS in relation to COVID-19 stand for? Time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me. I will have Bindura University of Science Education read their answer first.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
As will the National University of Science and Technology.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Severe acute respiratory syndrome, it certainly is. Question number 2. Any substance that stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies is known as what? Any substance that stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies, what is that known as? Any substance that stimulates the immune system to produce antibodies is known as what?
5.
You've got 5 seconds to go.
3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Please brandish your slates towards me. Bindura University of Science Education.
Enzymes, bacteria, or virus.
National University of Science and Technology.
Antibodies.
And the Harare Institute of Technology.
It's just white, Rob.
White. Antigen is the answer I was seeking. Which country to date has the highest number of COVID-19 deaths? Which country to date has the third highest number of COVID-19 deaths? Which country to date has the third highest number of COVID-19 deaths? Which country to date has the third highest number of COVID-19 deaths?
3, 2, 1.
Time is up. May you please brandish your slates towards me. Bindura University.
UK.
National University of Science and Technology.
India.
Harare Institute of Technology.
UK.
India is the prescribed answer. We've got people rooting for you at home and people rooting for themselves as well. Philosima Kombe thinks Panopera quiz is tinegetese pano tavanema degree in corona and condoms. Probably true. We did say we want to use this as a learning process, and we all are learning and in these beautiful interactions that we are having. Question number 4. Name any one of the 2 broad types of tests administered for COVID-19 according to the World Health Organization. Name any one of the 2 broad types of tests administered for COVID-19 according to the World Health Organization.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Brandish your slates towards me and have Bindura University read your answer.
PCR.
National University of Science and Technology.
Viral test.
And Harare Institute of Technology, read what's on your slate.
PCR, polymerase chain reaction.
Viral test, PCR, or rapid diagnostic test. Certainly the prescribed answers. Congratulations. And question number 5, the last in this category. On which specific date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 a global pandemic? On which specific date did the World Health Organization declare COVID-19 to be a global pandemic? I will give you a clue. It was this year.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your time is up. Bindura University of Science Education.
11 March 2020.
National University of Science and Technology.
11 March 2020.
Harare Institute of Technology.
11 March 2020.
I can barely remember my birthday, and you have these very sad dates embedded in your minds. It must be tough to be a student. Of course, that brings us to the end of that category, the penultimate, and now we head into the final category. If you think you've been having a bad day, this is probably the last time or chance to salvage your performance and salvage your spot in the top 3. So here goes nothing. Of course, if there's a tie, we'll have to break that tie in order to have 3 teams progressing. God forbid. God forbid. Category 5 is drawn from our favorite subjects, climate change and environment. Climate change and environment. And suddenly the climate in here has changed and it's getting hotter. Question number 1, what does the abbreviation GPS stand for? What does the abbreviation GPS stand for?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. Brandish your slates towards me, and Bindura University, read what is on your slate.
Global Position System.
Global Position System. National University of Science and Technology.
Global Positioning System.
Global Positioning System. And Harare Institute of Technology.
Global Positioning System.
Global Positioning System. It certainly is. Question number 2. In environment, what term is used to define a situation relating to or resulting from the influence of human beings on nature? In environment, what term is used to define a situation relating to or resulting from the influence of human beings on nature?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stop writing, brandish your slates. Bindura University.
Climate change.
National University of Science and Technology.
Global warming.
Harare Institute of Technology.
Global warming.
For a moment there, I thought the answer was there because both at HIT were looking up in the sky. You obviously didn't find it up there because the answer is anthropogenic. Anthropogenic. Question number 3. Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones in the world, which country experienced the most of these? Of the 10 recorded worst cyclones in the world, which country experienced the most of those?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time's up. May you please brandish your slates towards me. Bindura University of Science Education, what do you have on your slate?
Japan.
National University of Science and Technology.
Japan.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Japan.
I will tell you that the answer is Bangladesh. Question number 4. What was the name of the ministry mandated to protect Zimbabwe's natural resources at independence in 1980 by the government of Zimbabwe? What was the name of the ministry mandated to protect Zimbabwe's natural resources at independence in 1980 by the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your time's up. Please brandish, starting with Bindura University of Science Education.
Ministry of Forestry and Environmental.
National University of Science and Technology.
Ministry of Climate, Environment and Resource Management.
And Harare Institute of Technology.
Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources.
Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism. Yes, this the answer prescribed. Your final saving grace, perhaps. Question number 5. What is the name of the ministry that oversees climate change issues in Zimbabwe? What is the name of the ministry that oversees climate change issues in Zimbabwe?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your time is up. Please brandish your answers. Bindura University of Science Education, please read out your answer.
Ministry of Climate Change and Meteorological.
National University of Science and Technology.
Ministry of Climate, Environment and Resource Management.
And Harare Institute of Technology, what is the ministry called?
Environmental Management Agency.
You think the Environment Management Agency is a ministry? Okay. Well, it is the Ministry of Environment, Water and Climate. Ministry of Environment, Water and Climate. This brings us to the end of this morning's active quiz. We're going to go on a short break. I'm going to follow you to your quarantine area where you shall be with your colleagues, and I will follow you and let you know that 3 teams have come to the end of the road, and we've got only 3 teams standing who will all have a podium finish. And of course, from that team, from that batch, we shall find out who is the ultimate winner and who takes home the trophy. So, I'll ask that my studio be unsealed, and I'll bid you all farewell, and some I will not see again in this studio, not this year anyway, but it's been an absolute pleasure. Goodbye, forever and ever, some of you. So they've just left the studio. We're just going to pause for a moment as we allow my adjudicators to collate their points, and I'm going to follow these students in their quarantine area to let them know the good news for half and the absolutely horrible, horrible news for the other three. So don't go away, because after all, this is the most important bit that you have been waiting for, to know if the team that you have been rooting for has made it into that top 3 berth.
Life will never be the same again.
Absolutely. How do you tell someone in Mbaria or in Soweto that they should exercise social distancing?
Every single one of us, barring a few, are praying more.
What is the health economic cost of what we are trying to achieve?
I don't know whether his chairman knows he runs at about 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I've just got the symptoms, so I just called the doctor, and and then he just advised me to have to stay at home, eh?
Welcome back to the National Universities Quiz Challenge. Of course, I did promise that I would be going to the quarantine area, but I decided not to. If the mountain can't come to Muhammad, Muhammad must come to the mountain. They will come to me. And indeed, that is the moment of truth where I am going to line them all up in the studio, and they'll feel my studio for one last time. And some will have to leave as others are given the great news that they're proceeding and they have a podium finish. We're going to be seeing them coming through into the studio very soon. And it was, I must say, a very tight contest. I'm going to ask that you go and stand behind the podiums because some of you will be experiencing them for the last time. The last time. Welcome back, contestants. And I know you have been stewing, and I know you are absolutely raring to go. Some are raring to go back to the hotel, pack their stuff and send messages home. That's half of you. And the rest of you, the other half, will have to gear up for one last round, the absolute finals. You will notice that in front of you, if you focus, well, not directly in front, you're sharing an X spot, and X marks the spot in my studio. I'm going to call 2 teams at a time, and I'm going to let you know whether you have made it or not. If you have made it, you go back and stand behind any podium with your partner. And if you have not, I will tell you where to go. We will unseal the studio. You will not be worthy to stand in this sacred center of questions and answers. To just give you a brief show of how close this was. There are 6 of you, and the points were as follows: 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25. Those are the points that separate you. I will start by asking Bindura University, take the spot. You look confident of going through, as does everybody. Gwanda, where are you? Come and take the spot alongside Bindura. I will tell you that your 2 teams are separated by 1 point. 1 point. One of you, as a team, is going through to the finals. One of you will not. 1 point. One point. Let's see you stew a bit. This is called sadism. Gwanda State University, I'm so sorry. It's been a great run for you. I'm afraid you have to go out of my studio after you participate in the finals. You have made it to the finals. Go back behind there and take the podium. That 1 point, at 1 point, has sent Bindura home. The upside is Bindura is absolutely near. Mkatanga kufamba. Now, by the time we have the finals, you will have arrived in time to watch them from home. But for now, get out of my studio. Unseal, send them out. The University of Zimbabwe. Take the spot. Come forward, Harare Institute of Technology. You are separated by 2 points. 2 points. Just 2 points. I wish you had microphones to speak. I'll probably have given you an opportunity to speak, but this is my time. This is my moment. They do say there are only 2 universities in the nation, don't they? The University of Zimbabwe and others. That's what you always say. I don't know what the others feel about it. What I can tell you, University of Zimbabwe, Harare Institute of Technology, my defending champions. Well, Harare Institute of Technology, I will see you again in my studio when you hand over the trophy to somebody else. In the meantime, get out of my studio and get out. University of Zimbabwe, you are all out of the game. National University of Science and Technology and MSU, you have made it into the final. So amongst you, I will find my champion. Amongst you, I will see the best of the best. National University of Science and Technology, 25 points. MSU 23, Gwanda State University 22, Bindura University of Science Education 21, University of Zimbabwe 20, and Harare Institute of Technology 18. It has been a great first bit. You've got a lot to do. You've got a fight to fight. You've already got at least a medal, but you want more than just a medal. Who can take bronze or silver when there is gold? I will see you on the other end. Until then, have a great afternoon, and I'll see you after your lunch when you battle it out for that ultimate crown. Now, please walk triumphantly out of the studio. You deserve it.
Life will never be the same again.
Absolutely. How do you tell someone in Mbaria or in Soweto that they should exercise social distancing?
Every single one of us, barring a few, are praying more.
What is the health economic cost of what we are trying to achieve?
I don't know whether his chairman knows he runs at about 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I've just got the symptoms, so I just called the doctor and then he just advised me to have to stay at home, eh?
and then they were 3. Of course, we have now lost the Bindura University of Science Education, which lost it by just 1 point. We've lost the University of Zimbabwe, and we've lost the Harare Institute of Technology, which was the defending champion. And of course, they'll be back in the studio to hand over what is now no longer theirs to those that shall rightfully own the business. And National University of Science and Technology, Midland State University and Gwanda State University, amongst those, that is the team that will see where one will walk away with that ultimate trophy. But we want to hear the sentiment. We didn't hear anything from them when we chucked them out of this esteemed studio. But Candice has got the stomach to talk to people who lose, and she's on standby to talk to our grand losers, Bindura University of Science Education, University of Zimbabwe and HIT, to find out the feeling in their camp. Candice, take it away.
You can feel the anxiety in the air as the competition gets stiffer and a lot more difficult. Now we have just lost 3 more universities, and unfortunately I do have to talk to them and find out how they're feeling. And of course we're going to start off with these 2 here. Just remind us which university you're representing.
Bindura University.
How do you feel?
Relieved, I think.
You're relieved that this is over. You don't look relieved. Well, how are you feeling?
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah. Do you feel as though you did your best?
Yeah, I think we were all right.
You were all right. Not 100, just all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Given the opportunity, would you come back and do it all over again?
Yes, and we'll come back stronger.
All right. What would you change about this experience if you could?
Being more prepared. Yeah, we're gonna put more effort.
Well, I'm sorry to see you go, but we will see you a bit later on when we announce the actual winners. So thank you so much for your participation, and I will call up my next ones. You can go this way. Next to, I think these are from UZ, University of Zimbabwe, if I'm not mistaken. And guys, what happened?
Well, as we progress, the competition got stiffer and stiffer.
Do you think you gave it 100%?
Yeah, definitely. But at the end of the day, there can only be a few winners, and it really took something extraordinary from them to be able to outrank us.
Oh, okay. So they just had a little bit more. Okay. I like that positivity. Would you come back and do it all over again?
Yes.
Why?
Because we were dread border. Because now we have experience. We have learned a lot from this.
Okay. What have you learned from this?
A lot, really, especially the ideals of teamwork, the ideals of even how we get to know more about sexual and reproductive health and rights itself. And definitely we are going to be able to use that knowledge in order to help other people and other youths out there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And we will see you a bit later on. Of course, sounding a bit more positive, even though they have been eliminated from the challenge. And I'm so disappointed in these two because I was rooting for this team. Yeah. Guys, what happened?
Shit happens, shit happens.
That's unfortunate. But what have you learned from this experience?
Well, I would say with quiz you can never be sure, but you have to at least try to read as much as you can to get at least as much points as you can. So from the previous competition, the semi-finals, as the defending champions, well, the separation of the points was just slight, but at the same time, that little bit of effort is needed to put you through. So yeah, it's a learning curve. We have to learn through it and come back for the championship again next year.
And how, as you were supposed to be the defending champions, guys. How does that hit you? I think it can't hit you the same way it hit the others.
Not really. You have to accept the unexpected. You have to be willing to accept what is unexpected. So yeah, it might be different from the others, but yeah, we'll throw.
Would you come back and do it all over again?
I think the answer is definitely a yes. Lunchbar, obvious.
Thank you so much. And of course, I was rooting for them because he's been confident from day one, and it is a bit sad to see them go. But we hope that the competition only becomes a lot more exciting for you at home. And so please do stay tuned for when we go back to the actual final. We have 3 teams left. in this competition. And from those three, we do pick our first place winner, second place, and a runner-up. So that is something that you will want to be paying attention to.
Well, there you have it. Candice has just been having a word with my brilliant losers. I did call them losers. I'll tell you, this wasn't a competition. This was an experience, and we certainly loved having them on this esteemed stage. And of course, these are the future of our nation. Their hard work, energy, and tireless dedication is a Zimbabwean dream come true, and we're proud to have them. And as SAYWAT, the Swedish Embassy in Zimbabwe, and indeed, I guess you at home and you in the universities, you're also proud of their performances. Of course, there can only be one winner, but we've been having quite a swell time. Catch us at 2:30 after lunch when we start our road to the final, and we shall be having just one final round, all three in here. And that shall be the National University of Science and Technology, the Midlands State University, and Gwanda State University. And isn't it interesting? Manicaland, Midlands rather, and Matabeleland, Bulawayo Province and Matabeleland South. So the South takes it. Who shall be king of the South and king of the entire Zimbabwe? Well, we'll just have to wait for when that road to the final commences here on Zim Papers Television Network at 2:30 today. I'm Robert Nkondiwa. I've been with you now. I'll be with you at that time. In the meantime, go and take a breather as we get ready for the final.